It's getting harder way 7T. Back with another EP. Y'all do your boy a favor. Y'all smash that like button for your boy. Really appreciate everybody coming through. We here for these fight breakdown and predictions. We got some fights going down this Saturday, right? I'm gonna break down a couple of them today, and then I'm gonna take it on up until tomorrow. You know what I mean? Y'all smash that like button for your boy. We gonna get right into it. I ain't gonna waste no time. You know what I mean? We got Rodrigo Coria facing off against Brian Norman Jr. Brian Norman Jr. is a friend of the family. He been on Brother Just Do show. He been on Brother Blue Blood show. Brian Norman has made his rounds. You know what I mean? These YouTube streets. One day, if I'm lucky enough, I hope to have Brian Norman. You know what I mean, at the tea house, right? But Rodrigo Coria, he's 10-4 with 2 KOs, 23 years old, 5'10". His last fight was a unanimous loss to Peter Dobson. Peter Dobson is a pretty known guy on the on the up and coming. Peter Dobson. Peter Dobson 16-0, 9 KOs, 32 years old from Brooklyn, New York. He's a pretty good fighter. He's a pretty good fighter. Not a scrub by a long shot. So ain't no shame in losing to Peter Dobson. And then he got wins over Adrian Marcelo, Jose Vargas. Most of the other wins, right? Most of the other wins came, overseas. He only had 2. He only had 1 fight in America, which was his last fight versus Peter Dobson, and Brian Norman Jr. would be his second fight over in America. Now I did a film study on Coria, right? Now Coria is he's far from a KO puncher, right? As you can see by 14 fights and 2 KOs. He's far from a KO puncher. He's a active kind of fighter, right? He's not a KO puncher, but he has the style of a KO puncher. Like he has an active style. He likes to mix it up, which may not work into his favor. Which very well may not work into his favor. When this fight with Brian Norman Jr. is what you call a boxer puncher. You know what I mean? Strong guy. Okay. A strong guy. You know what I mean? It was good, shout. Appreciate you sliding through. Glad you can make it. We're in here breaking down these fights real quick. I'm on the first one. The first one ain't gonna take me as long, right, as the second fight. The one between Norman. The one between Norman and Coria ain't gonna take me as long to break down as Abraham Nova and Adam Lopez. I think that jump right there gonna be a banger. And this with Brian Norman Jr. Brian Norman in this fight, he just got to stay focused. He's got to stick to the game plan, and he got to do. Hold on real quick. And he got to do what Brian Norman Jr. Does best. If Brian Norman Jr. stays within himself, right? Brian Norman Jr. He has a good jab, right, and he's a solid puncher. At times, Brian Norman would throw defense to the air and go finish his food, but not often, right? I don't expect him to have too much, of a problem in this fight with Rodrigo Coria. I think Brian Norman's going to not because this guy is just the worst opponent in the world, because he's not the worst opponent in the world, as you see with the 10-4 record, right? I just don't think he has enough. I don't think he has enough, power. I don't think he has enough oomph, just to keep Brian Norman Jr. off him. I think Brian Norman Jr. probably going to knock this guy out. I'll probably go Brian Norman Jr. wins this fight by knockout, maybe round 4. Round 4. I'm just, what concerns me in this fight is just Coria's power. Brian Norman 22-0, 19 KOs, 5'8" with a 72-inch arm reach. So he's the shorter fighter, right? In this fight, his last fight, he beat Roque Juco and Damon Fernandez, right? Neither of these guys have, extremely high profile resumes, right? This is kind of a fight, Brian Norman getting himself back in the ring, getting back acclimated. Brian Norman's one of the guys who had, a hard time finding fights. Right now, he's over there on the top rank side. So hopefully, now with him being top rank, they could keep him, a little more active. I like him being on the first top rank card of the year. So I'm happy about that. They give me more to look forward to when it comes to Brian Norman Jr. What's good, quick? Appreciate you sliding through this thing quick. Glad you can make it. Let me drop y'all flames real quick. But yeah, I got Brian Norman. Winning this fight by knockout. I'm gonna go fifth round. I'm gonna go fifth round. Now it's an 8-round fight, right? I'm gonna go Brian Norman Jr. fourth round knockout over Rodrigo Coria, right? Even if I get the round wrong, right, I'll say in this fight, take the knockout. You know what I mean? Brian Norman Jr. Coming, to put in work. This guy doesn't have a whole lot of power, right? I'm going, Brian Norman Jr. by knockout. Again, YouTube already made my video yellow. I don't know why, but they did, right? But let's get it going. Let's go on to the next fight. In the first fight, right, I got Brian Norman Jr. by KO over Rodrigo Coria, round 4. I got 11 people in the building. I got 7 likes. Can I get everybody in the building to smash that like button for your boy, whether you're here for a good time or a long time? We breaking down, these fights. I got Brian Norman Jr. with 4th round knockout in the first fight. Now we're about to break down, the good fight. We about to break down the fight that's going to be a little more difficult, right? We got Abraham Nova making his return to the ring, right? Let me get it up. We got Abraham Nova making his return to the ring since his last out and his last loss versus Rabisi Ramirez. They put him in the ring with Adam Lopez. Adam Lopez is coming out his a victory over Encarnacion, right? We go get into it, right? But we got Supernova, 21-1, 15 KOs, been stopped once, 5'9", 72-inch arm reach. He's facing off against Adam Lopez. Adam Lopez, 16-3, 6 KOs, been stopped once as well. 26 years old, 5'8", with a 69-inch arm reach. This is the fight that I'm talking about, William Encarnacion, right? So let's get into it. So we got Adam Lopez versus Abraham Nova, right? Abraham Nova is coming off, a loss to Rabisi Ramirez. Now Adam Lopez, right? He's coming out for victory against William Encarnacion, right? Now let's check out, these scorecards, right? Adam Lopez last fight said 77-74, 76-74, 77-74, right? So that means that it was a tough fight. That means that it was a close fight, right? And Adam Lopez ended up getting the victory. Now I challenge everybody in here, right, to go watch Adam Lopez versus William Encarnacion, which will be his last fight, right? Go back, watch Adam Lopez versus William Encarnacion, and you will see, right? Well, at least this is what I saw. This is what I saw. I saw Adam Lopez, have to make adjustments in that fight, and I saw him not be able to. I saw him, get outboxed by a better boxer that night, maybe a more experienced boxer, even if he's not, just an overall better boxer that night, right? He was the better boxer and the more experienced boxer. Adam Lopez ended up squeaking that, right? A unanimous decision. But I challenge everybody to go watch that William Encarnacion fight. And, you be the judge and you tell me what you think, how Adam Lopez looked in his last fight, right? I said that to say because Adam Lopez is facing off against Abraham Nova. Now, we all know that Abraham Nova, what's good boxing MMA, Shower, Kurt Raines, Tim Free, Quick, Josh Sanders, G5, Mike the Reaper. Appreciate y'all folks sliding through. If y'all could jab that like button for your boy when you roll on in. Jab that like button for your boy when you roll on in. We in for a sleeper of a fight, a highly intriguing fight for me, right? Abraham Nova is making his ring return, since his last fight versus Robeisy Ramirez, in which he was stopped, right? So it's gonna be interesting to see how Adam Lopez handles his first loss, and it's gonna be interesting to see it's gonna be interesting to see how Adam Lopez handled his first loss, and it's gonna be interesting to see how he handled getting stopped for the very first time. So he got his first loss and his first stoppage, right? All in his last fight, as you see, with the 5th round knockout by Robeisy Ramirez. Now, another one, right? Another thing, to pay attention to. Before he fought Robeisy Ramirez, Adam Lopez's Jr. I said Adam Lopez Jr. Abraham Nova. Abraham Nova's last fight also was versus William Encarnacion, right? So I challenge you to go back and watch Adam Lopez versus William Encarnacion, and I challenge you to go back and watch Supernova versus William Encarnacion. Now, you see Supernova stopped William Encarnacion, right? But Supernova will have to work for that stoppage win over William Encarnacion. William Encarnacion fought both guys, Abraham Nova, Supernova, and he fought Adam Lopez. Tough. What's good, Tay? Appreciate you sliding through this thing, Tay. Glad you can make it. Glad you can make it. If y'all could jab that like button for your boy when you roll on in. Whether you're here for a good time or a long time, greatly appreciate you sliding through. 11 people. What's good, Jazz? Appreciate you sliding through this thing, Jazz. Glad you can make it as well. Whether y'all here for a good time or a long time, if y'all could, hit that thumbs up for your boy. Let YouTube know that we live. Let YouTube know that we cooking. Let YouTube know that we doing a good job. I ain't gonna try to keep y'all in this thing too much longer because I want to come back with another fight breakdown and prediction, right? But in this fight versus Abraham Nova versus Adam Lopez, both guys have a common opponent, right? William Encarnacion. Both guys have a common opponent, right? And William Encarnacion is 20-4, right? In this fight with Adam Lopez, I feel like William Encarnacion was able to control the pace. He was able to control the distance and basically control the fight with Adam Lopez, the more inexperienced fighter. When he fought Abraham Nova, I expected Abraham Nova got the stoppage in the 8th, right? But I expected Abraham Nova to be able to win that fight a little better, right? A little more easier than he was able to. William Encarnacion made it hard for Abraham Nova as well. He made Abraham Nova work for their stoppage. But Abraham Nova eventually ended up getting the stoppage versus William Encarnacion. So when you match Abraham Nova, right, and you match Adam Lopez, Abraham Nova, who just lost to Robeisy Ramirez but beat William Encarnacion before, and you match Adam Lopez, who just beat William Encarnacion, but it was a controversial decision. A lot of people think Adam Lopez lost. You match the two together, you're bound to get a good fight. To get more so into the breakdown, I think kind of like William Encarnacion, right? Abraham Nova is, he's a pure boxer. He's a better, pure boxer than William Encarnacion, as you could, judge by what he did to William Encarnacion and stopping him in the 8th round. You know what I mean? In this fight, I didn't have to go as far as, the last, 2 or 3 fights. They had a common opponent, and Supernova made William Encarnacion. Ultimately, he made William Encarnacion, look silly at the end of the fight. He made Supernova work for it early, but by the last 2.5 rounds, Nova was beating on, William Encarnacion. Adam Lopez, who wasn't as successful in figuring out, William Encarnacion, and he let, William Encarnacion kind of, beat on him a little bit, control the ring, outbox him. He frustrated Adam Lopez a lot in that fight. And if William Encarnacion can frustrate you, I also believe that Abraham Nova could frustrate you as well. I got Abraham Nova's boxing ability just being a little too much. I got his craftiness in the ring, his veteran, tactics just being a little too much for Adam Lopez to figure out. Abraham Nova is the more experienced fighter, and I think that's going to show a whole lot in this fight. I think Abraham Nova is going to be able to outbox Adam Lopez, pretty comfortably to a victory. Adam Lopez isn't the guy that's overly powerful, to where Supernova got to worry about, him, turning his lights out or anything like that. So I'm expecting Supernova to be able to control the pace of this fight and pretty much, able to box Adam Lopez, for a decision victory. I got Abraham Nova by unanimous decision over Adam Lopez. So I got Abraham Nova by unanimous decision over Adam Lopez. I think he's just a better boxer. He go be able to control, the fight. And then I got Brian Norman Jr. with a 4th round knockout over Rodrigo Coria. Y'all make sure y'all stay tuned because I'm about to hit y'all with a couple more fight breakdown and predictions. I greatly appreciate everybody sliding through this thing. If y'all could jab that. What's good, Curtis? What's good, Charles Granger? Appreciate you sliding through. If y'all could jab that like button for your boy before you head up out of here, I would greatly appreciate it. Tell a friend and tell a friend. Skin the heart away, Southern Tea. This ain't the past. This ain't the future, but just the present. That's how we rocking. And I'm out. Love.